Hey there, fellow citizen of the internet, Moses Kabandana here. If you are in your 30s, 40s, 50s, and possibly beyond, this is the best time to start a YouTube channel for three particular reasons. One of those reasons is obviously the one that is talked about the most: income, right? Everyone wants to make some money from YouTube. We're gonna get into that later on. The second most important reason, or most common reason, I would say, is confidence or false confidence. We'll get into that later on as well. But I want to talk about the third and probably most important reason that I think you should start a YouTube channel if you are in your 30s, 40s, and 50s. Again, beyond that, it's totally fine. Before that, that's totally fine too. But this third reason is legacy. Okay, so let me unpack the very first one, the income one, to get that out of the way. Most of us want to talk about money, and most of us want to know like how much we can make and earn out of YouTube. But YouTube is a really long-term type of thing, just like most things that are worth doing in the medium to long term. On the income side of things, you can most certainly make a very good income with YouTube. Don't ask me, I'm really not there yet. But it is possible if you put your very best foot forward in the medium to long term. You provide a good and or a service to people that they find valuable here on YouTube, you will be rewarded monetarily in the medium to long term. The very second thing that I want to talk about is confidence. Why would YouTube affect your confidence? One of the points that I have here, I got my notes here, so if you don't like me looking sideways, fight me. One of the reasons that it builds confidence, or false confidence, depending on which category you fall on, is that public speaking is one of the biggest fears of most people. Now, YouTube doesn't necessarily make you a good public speaker. I'm literally in this room by myself, so I'm not really talking to the public per se, but it's part of creating YouTube videos or videos that will be seen and or are seen by other people that you don't know. Is you are exposing your confidence, you are exposing your competence or lack thereof. But before you hit publish in any video, if you are worth your salt, you will listen to your own video. You will hear yourself speak. And most of us cannot stand listening to ourselves speak. So the very least thing that YouTube will do for you as far as boosting your confidence is you get used to hearing yourself, for better or for worse, right? But I would argue for better. And it allows you to learn how to put together information in a coherent manner that is easily followable, if that's a word. So that builds confidence, especially if you start to get feedback from your viewers. Hey, that's a good video. Hey, I love that transition. Hey, thank you for that tip, right? It builds confidence. And if you suffer from what's the term, when you know something but you're kind of like fighting against it, or like you don't think that you know as much as you, imposter syndrome. There you go. Okay, so if you have like a huge imposter syndrome and you put yourself out there, YouTube, through the feedback that you get from your audience, right, especially if they get value from it, you start to think, okay, maybe I am actually competent because I'm getting feedback. I put myself out there. I shared my 2 cents on this particular domain of competence, of my competence, and my viewers are responding accordingly. Now, of course, if you're completely in the wrong, right, and you're still getting good feedback, that doesn't help you either. This is why I was kind of like saying that it might build false confidence. Fair, but it boosts your confidence in the sense that you have an interest, you have an expertise, or you have a curiosity and you're willing to explore that, and you share that exploration with your audience. That builds confidence in my book to some degree. But the very third one that I want to talk about is legacy. Why legacy? Especially if you're in the later stages of your life, legacy becomes more and more important. I'm 30 and a half, so I may not really know what I'm talking about. I'm willing to take that. But I would like to think that if I were to watch this video in, let's say, 20 years when I'm 50, first of all, when I watch a video that's like 3 years old, or like 3 months old, I'm like, oh my goodness, what was I thinking? Like, that's so trash, right? But when I watch a video that is 5 or 10 years old, I still think it's trash, right? But there's something that it's nostalgic to some degree, but it's also like, wow, look how far I've come, right? Look how far I've come, or it gives me a smaller window into what was happening at that time in my life. And legacy is built on top of this, because one day your kids can pull up your YouTube video, right? And be like, wow, that's my pops, or that's my mom, when she was 30, when she was 40, when she was 50. Look at my dad when he was 50. Like, my goodness, I didn't know that this is what he was doing. I didn't know that this is what he was going through at the time. Now, obviously, the content that you put out on YouTube, this is why you should aim to create as authentic of a content as possible, right, on YouTube, and so that this legacy part of it can be as true as possible, right? Is so that you can look back on it and be like, wow, that was a good time, or that was a terrible time, or here is simply what it was. And beyond that, your offsprings, or your cousins, your nephews, and who knows who, is gonna be able to look at these videos and be like, yeah, that's my pops, or that's my mom's, so I think this third point is more valid, like it carries more weight, right? That the legacy part of creating content and leaving this content on YouTube, because it's gonna live on forever, right? It's gonna live on forever. And so if there's no any other reason why you should create a YouTube channel, and you should start publishing on YouTube, legacy. Think about your legacy. 20, 30 years from now, if you're 50, you would be, I'm terrible in math, so that would be like you would be in your 70s. That's still young, oddly enough. That's, yeah, that is still young. Anyways, those are my 2 cents as to why you should still create a YouTube video, a YouTube channel, and create content across a relatively long period of time, is for this legacy part of it. If the money comes, great. If you get to build a huge brand and you have a big legacy that you leave behind, I mean, like, it builds your confidence and everything, amazing. But the legacy part of it, in my book, it should carry a lot more weight as to why you should create a YouTube video in your 30s, in your 40s, 50s, and of course beyond. Those are my 2 cents. Thank you so much for watching. My name is Moses, and I will see you in the next video. Peace.